Now I got a kid and I'm trying to be like a better person for her, you know? Like, I got sober recently. I got sober. That's pretty exciting. Thank you. Because turns out I'm an alcoholic, which I didn't know. I thought I just really liked alcohol. Turns out those are very connected. Woke up naked in an alley, curled up in a ball. I realized you're either an alcoholic or you're the Terminator. One of those two. And if you are thinking about quitting drinking, I would say don't do it. Have fun, die younger. Because when you quit drinking, it takes all the fun out of life. Like, here's an example. Have you ever gone to like Taco Bell or Denny's sober, and you're like, that's what the fuck this tastes like? That's what this shit's been the whole time? That's all of your life when you get sober. Like, all your friends, you're like, oh, I love my friends. No, you're always drunk around each other. Then you get sober, you're like, dude, Tony's not funny. Turns out he's just angry and racist. So I tried to go to AA, but AA is very weird for a comedian because an AA meeting is a lot like a comedy club. It's one guy talking about his fucked up life and then a bunch of people who wish they had a drink in front of them. It's the same dynamic. So as a comedian, you're in front of a crowd, you feel like you want to try to get laughs, but I mean, I had to follow a meth addict. That's a tough follow. That guy talked about eating his favorite dog on Christmas. I mean, how am I going to follow that? I went up there to start doing crowd work. I was like, I'm Mo Mandel, I'm an alcoholic. This guy knows what I'm talking about, right? Started working the crowd. Look at this lady crying. What a bitch, huh? I'll be here all week because the judge said I have to be. Sold my CDs after the show. The other reason I got sober, though, besides trying to be a better father, is I started watching Lockup and all those prison shows. And I realized everyone who's in jail is in there for being drunk or on drugs. And I was like, if I end up in prison, the producers are going to do an episode about my career. Like, Mo Mandel used to make almost $9,000 a year as a stand-up comedian. But now in Corcoran Penitentiary, no one's laughing anymore. And then it cuts to me. I get raped a lot. But now that I'm married and have a baby, I don't care that I'm sober. But when I was single, that was tough. Because if you're a man and you're single and sober, you kind of seem like a predator. And what do we do as men? We take women to bars and hope you drink and want to have sex. But it's weird if we're like, hey, you should get drunk. Just you. I'm gonna sit here with a Pepsi. Let me know when you're ready to make a mistake. Here's to Cosby. So anyway, just trying to be a good person. Trying to be a good person, man, for my daughter, you know. I actually have a big day coming up with my daughter next week. I got a big day with my daughter next week. I'm taking her to buy her first gun. Yeah. She's starting daycare, and I want her to be ready. It's starting early now. There was a 6-year-old kid that shot his teacher last year. 6. And that's why we have to arm the teachers, so they can shoot those little motherfuckers. Like, you should never shoot a kid, but if that kid's trying to shoot you, you should shoot that fucking kid. I don't want to get killed by a 6-year-old and then my friends are at my funeral just talking shit like, I heard that kid missed his nap. That's what they want to do. They want to arm the teachers. I don't know. I feel like we should start by letting them hit the kids again. I mean, right? Isn't it weird if you can't slap a kid's wrist with a ruler, but you could shoot him with an AR-15? Arm the teachers. What about the subs? They just get a knife. Like, it just seems weird. Like, we can't trust these teachers not to fuck the kids half the time. You put those little dicks down, then you can pick up a gun. But I'll tell you, if they do arm the teachers, boy, that next generation of class clowns are gonna be pretty badass. They're gonna be walking around like war heroes. Like, yep, lost this leg in Johnson Middle School. Whoopee cushion, Miss Rodriguez. So many of these fucking mass shootings, huh? The only good thing about all these shootings is at least it's more racially diverse now. Used to just be whites. Guys who look like you. I feel like I've seen you on CNN about 5 or 6 times. But now it's people like you of all races. Last year we had an Asian guy do it, and a black guy did it on a subway. Didn't kill anybody, not sure how that's fucking possible. On a subway? Isn't that like bowling with the bumpers up? Like, how do you not? Like, if only a white 14-year-old was there to show him how it's done, you know? No, Darnell, not like this. Like this. Oh, what a beautiful racial moment. But there's so many of these mass shooters, it kind of makes you miss serial killers a little bit. At least they were good neighbors. Dude, anytime there's a serial killer documentary, there's always that scene where they're like, we loved Rick. That was Crazy Rick with the van. We love that guy. Why are they such good neighbors? They just letting people borrow their tools? Like, anybody need a shovel? Or maybe they always get to know their neighbors, can always washing blood off their van in the driveway, like, hey, Cheryl, yep, hit another deer. Are you jogging later? Like, it's weird to think about, but it's true. If you're having a party, who do you want your neighbor to be? Serial killer or sweet little grandma? I'm going serial killer. Because grandmas come by, can you turn that music down? Serial killer's like, turn it way up. I'm about to fire up my bone saw. I need some background noise. And now we got our mass shooters. No one says they're good neighbors. They're like, oh, we knew that kid sucked. That's why we picked on him. I'm sorry, is this too real for this crowd? But I feel bad for serial killers because mass shooters, they get way more attention and they put in way less work. Serial killers are killing people for 20 years. Mass shooters don't get invited to a pool party, more bodies without even trying. Because they're Gen Z, not willing to put in the time. Lazy on TikTok. You want to kill people, you dedicate. That's the American way. And they don't even bury their own bodies. These kids don't know how to work anymore. The other thing I like more about serial killers, and you guys are like, oh, good, I was hoping this bit would go on longer. The other thing I like more about serial killers, they don't kill themselves like little bitches, you know what I mean? They stick around to see what kind of nickname they're gonna get, and you gotta respect that. That's a big day when your nickname comes up in the paper, right? You're going to the paper, come on, bush killer, come on, the small dick minivan butt snuggler, god damn it!